While watching this episode of Golden Kamuy, I was a little disappointed that we were almost halfway through the episode and we didn't get a single dick joke. That wasn't until we finally got the return of Ushiyama, or as Asurpa calls him, Dick Sensei. The journey for the gold and the glory continues, my friends, in another awesome episode of Golden Kamuy. I think one of the most fun and ridiculous episodes of the entire series. Again, I don't even think Golden Kamuy knows what sort of genre that it actually wants to be, as a lot of the times it manages to be simultaneously hilarious, horrifying, and action-packed all at the same time, and this episode certainly ran the gamut on that. What I will say is that I did love that we finally got to see the freaking intro for this season, and it's nowhere near as good as the last one. There's no way that they're going to top Man with a Mission, and the fact that I thought the very first intro for the series was so incredibly atmospheric. Not just the amazing song Winding Road, but the overall imagery of it, and in many ways it sort of betrayed the viewer a little bit. It almost made it seem as if the story was going to be a little more serious in what it was trying to do, and while there were certainly elements of terror, dread, and even a lot of death, the series has a really great sense of humor, and I think that this intro maybe captures that just a little bit more, but it also has, I think, one of the biggest taboos, at least in my opinion, when it comes to anime openings, and that's that with an anime opening, I hate when they actually reuse scenes that you actually see in the episode that you're about to watch. I know it's a weird thing, but I really love it when an intro for an anime series does something completely unique just for that. Unique animation and visuals, things that go along perfect with the music. Here, there's just a bunch of scenes that we actually saw from the very first episode, and a lot of those actually involve seeing Edo Guy go through his weird little frickin' Buffalo Bill fashion show. And you know what? It doesn't work, because the character, spoiler warning, dies in this episode, or at least that's the ultimate implication. He gets crushed under a lot of wood and rocks. He's probably not going to get out of it. But the point is, I just don't like when they do that in intros. I know that's a minor thing. It will not affect the score of this episode. All I'm just trying to say is, I don't like the intro as much as the first one. It's never going to top it. I thought Winding Road was one of the best intros of the frickin' year, in my humble opinion. But enough about intros, let's talk about this episode right here, which I thought was a perfect storm of ridiculousness. One of my favorite things about Golden Kamuy is how there are multiple characters and factions who have their own motives for going after this gold, and whenever you get all of them together in one scene together, it just erupts into chaos, and it always ends up being really entertaining here. And most of this episode is following Sugimoto and Ogata as they're chasing down Edo Guy. They desperately want to stop this guy from distributing all of these fake skinned tattoos out there. They desperately don't want to allow him to actually get them to Tsurumi, and it ends up turning into this crazy chase scene which suddenly evolves into a minecart game from frickin' Donkey Kong Country mixed with a little bit of Temple of Doom, and all of this is played for laughs for the most part. It's just goofy slapstick comedy, but suddenly things get really serious when they end up getting trapped in the mines, and then like a big like gas explosion goes off and they end up getting trapped and almost completely suffocating. Edo Guy ends up getting crushed underneath all of this rubble, and it's up to this soldier by the name of Tsukushima to actually take these skins to Tsurumi, and it's just, it all happens so fast, it's just insane. And then it all results in something that I couldn't even have possibly predicted, which was seeing Sugimoto's group end up having lunch with Hijikata Toshizo, Ogata, his entire group, in Edo Guy's house. Yes, they're sharing a meal with all of these taxidermied bodies. There's even a shot where I swear to God it looks like it's supposed to be like a rendition of The Last Supper, and I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or just get freaked out, because this scene is just weird. Something that I didn't mention in the beginning about the new intro, and something that the show seems to be really obsessed with, is food. They love showing it off, they love showing how it's cooked, the preparation, the overall just moment of enjoying it. I think the series creator secretly just wants to make a food anime. It's ridiculous. Almost every single episode features three things: people getting killed, food scenes, and dick jokes. Oh, and speaking of dick jokes, Ushiyama finally returns in this episode. In fact, he's the one who's actually responsible for saving everyone from the gas-filled mines. He actually ends up bringing Sugimoto and even Shiraishi out, and he's reunited with Usurpa, which is great because there's the whole running gag of her wanting to give him some fish cake, but I don't even care about that. I'm just laughing at the fact that she still refers to him as Dick Sensei. In some alternate reality, it's okay to just casually call someone Dick Sensei. Oh wait, it's not an alternate reality, it's this one right here. So what's the rundown on this episode of Golden Kamuy? This episode was just nuts from beginning to end, but honestly, it featured, I think, some of the best animation that I've actually seen from the show thus far. While that whole minecart chase scene was ridiculous, it actually had some really clean animation attached to it, and there's a surprising amount of speed and fluidity to everything that they were trying to do. I just really appreciated that for that. It looked like the animators finally gave a shit for once, and that makes me very happy, because I like anime, and I like anime to look good. And I really like Golden Kamuy for its ridiculous story and the characters that are in it. I also thought it was really cool how at the very end we finally got like the real true meeting between Sugimoto and Hijigata Toshizo. Unlike his interactions with Tsurumi, it seems like these guys are a little more civil in what it is that they're actually trying to do. It's not all about murder, murder, kill, kill for them, and to see these characters actually sit down and share a meal together and try to understand what they're actually trying to do is surprising. Can't really tell, but it almost seems as if Sugimoto is just sort of complacent with what Toshizo is actually trying to do. He knows that by trying to overthrow the government and bring back the whole Ezo era of everything, like it's something that he knows probably isn't a good idea, but at the same time, he's sort of okay with it. And just like the last episode, this one has a lot of really memorable and weird imagery, and most of that comes from Edo Guy. He actually ends up constructing this dummy of Tsurumi, which looks surprisingly like him, but instead of a metal plate, he has like a teacup on his forehead. There's also Edo Guy just sort of running through the Japanese streets in a bear costume. Did anybody else think of Nicolas Cage from The Wicker Man? Golden Kamuy excels at being incredibly action-packed and surprisingly surreal, and this is another one of those episodes that I think really captured everything that was great about it. It was just an absolute oddball of craziness, but I'm really excited to see more of where this is going, especially now that Sugimoto is going to be joining another group, and maybe reluctantly. I still have a feeling it's only a matter of time before these groups separate yet again. But really, this was a showcase for why the series is so entertaining in the first place, and I think one of the stronger episodes of the entire series, and definitely a step up from the first episode of the season. I'm going to give this episode right here a solid 4 out of 5. It's definitely worth your time if you're still following this ridiculous and crazy story. If any of you guys did watch the episode, tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of Golden Kamuy. Thank you guys for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down, baby.